I'm an illustrator based in London, so I do work that celebrates joyful moments in life, and it aims to make you feel happier, brightens your day probably because I use a lot of these colors. So I got into novels, fictions, animes when I was a teenager, and I loved drawing and recreating the endings of these fictions and anime. And that's when I realized that I'm really into drawing and I'm really into storytelling visually. Usually the prints I have involves familiar scenes or landscapes, or very simple actions like running or just getting tan at the beach. So they're like familiar experiences that probably most people have, and the aim is to make them feel relatable, so hopefully they'll like the work a bit more, and it brightens the day because they're relatable. It's the heatwave print. The heatwave print in the shop is actually the second batch of print, and the first batch I made it in digital print, and it looks quite different from the risograph. The charm of risograph is that it adds a lot more depth and a lot more saturation and vibrancy of colors to the illustration itself. That's why this illustration has become something that is better than what I have originally designed. So now I'm working on a lot of freelance projects, and the work that I have done involves things like editorial illustrations, window display that I made for the shop before, and lots of little bits like fashion collaborations. Personally, as an artist or as a designer, illustrator, I'm always on the lookout for opportunities to get a bit out of my comfort zone.